Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Friday, December 20th, 2024. I am again having issues with sound. It's driving me freaking nuts. Anyway, just let me know you guys and girls can hear me 5 by 5, and I would really appreciate that. I see that our friend Alan here. I love what you did, bro. Alan Satoshi Greenspan. That's fantastic. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate that. All right, look, very interesting day on Wall Street. We need to talk about a lot of things, so just get comfortable just real quick. So, how we started off this day in the red pretty much across the board with regard to the major stock market indices. Then, well, it was kind of interesting. We started to see the 10-year yield drop. The dollar got hit pretty good on a relative strength basis. Tyler, thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. And then all of a sudden, this sparked a rally. At one point today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was higher by almost 900 points. We finished higher, nowhere near that. But what this did do, let's just play this out in our head. All right. So again, sell off. All of a sudden, 10-year yield starts coming down. Dollar starts weakening. MMRI started coming down as well. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then again, this rally got sparked on the back of that. This jump up to almost 900 with regard to the Dow, this spooked the short sellers. They covered those positions. That's why you got that bump like that. Now, how we finished the day is this. I mean, we had some gains. Let's put this together too. An over 1,100 point drop on Wednesday. I got out of the market. You know that. Yesterday, nothing. Flat. I think we had actually a slight gain for the Dow, and I mean fractional losses for the S&P, the Nasdaq, and then today, we're still pretty much deep in the hole. If you want to just look at how the market has performed just over the last 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Anyway, let's move forward. With regard to that, we got nice bids here. Gold and silver doing very well. Actually, I think silver actually finished slightly higher than that. Bitcoin doing well. Cryptos across the board, I would say, holding their own right here. We got to talk about cryptos real quick. And then the MMRI did come down. I don't like this. I don't like the spike here. You all know that. I'm going to sit. Look, man, I'm in a great mood. I really am. I think for me and you guys and girls that might have got out right before the holidays, you're going to sit back 7 years of buying the dips. I'm tired. I need a break here. I remain neutral in this market. I am neither a bull right now nor a bear. I am out of the market, so you're neutral. I'm not betting against the market. I'm not betting for the market. I have a few ideas which I'm going to throw at you guys and girls in about a week from today about what I am planning on doing, especially my Lions that want to take advantage of the market no matter which direction it goes. I've already floated out the idea that I'm probably going to be selling options onto the market to generate some cash flow. I can walk you guys and girls through that. It's an easy thing to do for the most part. Most of my lines out here who are familiar with options trading know how to do this. I have a whole bunch of free, 100% free publications that you can get that will tell you how to do these kinds of things. Anyway, let's not even go there. So we got a market again that did finish somewhat higher, but still pretty much a deep in a hole. A debt market, which I don't like whatsoever. And today's interest was very interesting, really. When I was watching this play out with sell-off initially, then we get the 10-year yield drop, dollar drop, stocks got going up. The shorts really freaked on that, and they covered their positions. That's why we bounced up, almost to 900 on the Dow, and then we finished about 499 points to the good. Tyler, thank you so much. With regard to, let's talk about the news here that we got. So I want you to read this headline real quick and tell me if you can understand what's going on. So the Fed's favorite favorite inflation gauge surprises by showing a slower pace of increases. What are they telling you? Inflation is still rising by their own numbers, but the pace is slowing. It's an amazing thing. I think this is, and I wrote it down here, extremely deceptive. It almost makes people think that inflation is dropping, which it's not. It's still rising. But the way they word it plays on your brain a little bit. Just got to look at this and see what is it exactly actually saying. Inflation is rising. Right, Jeffrey? Thank you. Yes, it's all fake. We know it's fake. We laugh at it, you and me. I believe me, I know that. So again, inflation is rising. Now, how about this one? Would this surprise you? And I think this is probably a low number. We found out that food prices have risen 28% in the last 5 years. Higher operating costs, supply chain disruptions, which we are going to see more of. People, I've been telling you this. Please, I'm going to relax here. Believe me when I'm telling you. They're setting it up right now. Anyway, this is what they're saying has been contributing to higher food prices. So higher operating costs, supply chain disruptions as well. You're going to see a lot more of that moving forward, especially with all the threats coming out of President-elect Trump about tariffs. So you just be ready for that. Now, this is the front page. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. The IMF, the International Mafia Fund. How do you like their front page? Inflation, prices on the rise. Can we get a duh? Duh. It's incredible, man. You can't make it up. Now, let us move forward. Here we go. Consumer spending, the main engine of the economy, is humming. People, what's missing here? Inflation continues to rise. People have no choice but to spend more. It's all a deception here. If inflation were twice what it is now, they would play it up as a great thing. People are spending even more because they have no choice. This is not going to stop. So just be ready for what's coming down the pike. You can't make it up if you tried to. Okay, now let us move forward. As the wealthy keep spending, because again, this environment is a gift to the 1% and 2%ers. And if you think that gift has stopped giving to the 1% and 2%ers, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I'm not even talking about the stock market here, people. The effect of currency creation, which is not going to stop out of nothing, always benefits the 1% and 2%. It's called the Cantillon effect. I've been telling you this for 1,000 years. I hope you guys understand. Anyway, as the wealthy keeps spending, here's why the middle class is in for a tough 2025. They go on to say, with regard to the middle class, are you ready? Oh, I got something beautiful to show you. Rising delinquencies, middle class, low savings, and weak hiring could spell trouble for the middle class moving into the new year. Really? No one saw this coming, but consumers are spending. So they're really, really strong because they have no choice. You see the deceptions, the lies, the distractions. This is going to get so great. Moving into the new year, just be ready for it. We have to talk more about that too. So again, this is an incredible situation here. And this is exactly what you and I have been talking about, people. Look, we may not have a crystal ball. We may certainly not be psychic. However, it's not too hard to connect the dots. Now, this is from the Bureau of Economic Advancement. Personal savings rate is dropping. Let me read this to you real quick. The personal savings rate here in the United States is now at 4.4%, nearly a record low, which is lower than the previous year. This is going down here. This is lower than the long-term average savings rate of 8.44. We're almost cut in half right now for the middle class. Now, listen to this part. And you know this already. This sounds like you and me. More Americans are having to tap into their personal savings to make ends meet. Really? No one's been talking about that except you and I. This trend is alarming, they go on to say, as loan defaults are also on the rise. Really? Isn't that what we just found out today is going on from Market Watch here. Yes, rising delinquencies, low savings. Here we go. Ties right into that. You can't make this stuff up. It's impossible to do, honestly. Tyler, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, look, with regard to this market, I want to read this to you real quick. Now, we all understand, and it's no secret, the big fat cats, especially Warren Buffett, have made no secret that they've been getting out of the market for the last 8 quarters, 2 years. They missed out on quite a run. They're smarter than we are, right? Obviously, no, with regard to the market. We've been in here. I just got out near a record high. Those of you who got out with me, congratulations. Really, we need a freaking break here. And I think we've earned it. So anyway, I write this here. It says in your inbox right now. So I wrote, Buffett is now buying energy companies and energy producers. Before we move on here, how many of you recall this guy explaining to you that you're going to see much higher energy prices moving forward? There is no doubt about this, okay? With drill, baby, drill, great. Unless our illustrious one, Trump, is planning on selling energy at a discount to the world, they ain't buying it from us, just in case you don't know. But sure, let's drill. It's going to make all the difference in the world. Again, these things are sold to you because they think you're stupid. Let us move forward. So I wrote, with regard to Buffett here, I wrote, it is certainly no secret that Warren Buffett has gotten out of the stock market, and for the last several quarters, he's been dumping stocks along with other so-called fantastical, illustrious, billionaires here. So with that, Buffett is now buying energy companies and producers. Why? Do you think he believes that energy prices are going lower? Let's drill. Energy prices are going higher. Oh, wait a minute. If we drill, they're supposed to go lower. But Buffett's saying, well, we should buy energy, like Greg Mannarino has been trying to tell you. Gain exposure here. Anyway, now I wrote, if you recall, we have many times people covered how we can expect higher energy prices moving forward. Now, do you think there's some kind of a correlation here? Duh. Of course there is. People, you got to be kidding me. If you can't see where we're going, and now Buffett getting back into the market buying energy companies, now it looks like he's buying, from what I can discern here, Occidental, everybody knows about that. You can look this stuff up for yourself. It looks like Devon and Chevron are two others that he's investing in. That doesn't mean you should. You have to understand, Warren Buffett, the way he buys his shares is way different than you can. Now, I'm not saying you don't need exposure here. Look, man, I believe you need to stay away from this market right now. You don't need to rush back in here and buy energy companies because Buffett is doing it. What Buffett does, or any of these other freaks do, does not dictate my life. If it dictates yours, I think you got a bigger problem than you know. What we got to do here, forget about FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh my, the market's gone up. I got to get back in here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If that's you, then you are a newbie and you don't know what the hell you're doing yet. You shouldn't be involved in this at all. You sit back and you wait. You wait. That's what I will be doing here. I don't like sitting in a cash position. You all know that. I've already told you what I'm thinking of doing. What I will be doing is adding to my physical positions of silver and, of course, gold. That's a no-brainer. I will be doing so. When I actually execute that, I will tell all of you. I will send a newsletter out. I'm not planning on doing this until the new year. I'm telling you right now. After the new year, I will be adding to physical positions here of gold, silver. And with regard to cryptocurrencies, which we're going to talk about more in just a moment here, I will let you all know what I plan on doing there as well. Right now, I am in an observation mode. I want to see what happens into the new year. And I'll tell you something else. It might even be prudent to wait till after the illustrious one is inaugurated. There's no rush here. All right. The market ain't going nowhere. So you just sit back and you relax. If you want to, look, man, I can't hold your hand through any of this stuff. I am going to tell you what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and you guys and girls can do whatever the heck you want to do. You understand? So it should be a no-brainer here why Buffett is getting in here. Obviously, drilling, baby, drilling is not going to make energy prices fall. They're going higher, much higher across the board. Trust me on this, or trust Buffett on this. There are so many things that are going on there, and it's unbelievable. But that's just whatever it might be. Anyway, now look. I want to talk about what you're going to see here. Okay. Moving into the new year, probably in January, moving over the next several months. There's a campaign that's already started. Now, I want to read this to you. This is something that I put out to all of you earlier today. I wrote Lions. There is a campaign which is just getting started. This is part of it right now. This is part of it right now. Okay. What this is intended to do is to get the general public to accept and believe that Bitcoin is going to stabilize the economy. Now, my question was here, do you believe that this is true? Now, I'm running a poll right here. It looks like 56% of you believe that Bitcoin will destroy the economy. Let me tell you what's going on here. And it's kind of interesting. Look how they word this here. Let me read this to you. Will a Trump-backed U.S. Bitcoin power? What this article is talking about is Trump's plan to add Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to the U.S. strategic reserves. No plan how we're going to pay for it. Maybe sell gold to do it, if there is any. Okay, but it goes on to say, would this put the economy on a sounder footing? Well, you're going to be sold. Believe me, we have to consider why this is happening here. Why is it that we are being pushed into this? We didn't vote for it, and I don't think most of you want it. We want to return to a commodity-backed system. You got the BRICS nations here who are looking to back a currency with commodities, or maybe not fully, but partially back their currency with a commodity gold. No brainer. Everybody knows that's what's going on here. Here in the United States, we are leading the way to further disconnect from that. Now, you know how their playbook works. Bear with me on this one. They must tell you what they're going to do before they do it. Like, for example, we're going to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. From a strategic standpoint, broadcasting to your enemies, let's just say China. We've heard that China is the enemy by the illustrious one. Okay. If you were China and you heard that the United States is planning on adding Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies to a strategic reserves, what would you do? I'll tell you what I would do. I would say, fine, okay. United States, they're broadcasting to us, which they have to do. It's part of the playbook. It ain't our book. We follow a different book than they do. I think you know what I'm talking about here. We're going to call that the satanic playbook. The satanic playbook dictates. And if you think I'm out there, really, I don't give a damn. It's as always what they do. They tell you first, we're going to be made the crypto capital of the world here. They have to do this. Again, it's a strategic error, obviously, on Trump's part to say it. But they have to say it. They have to. It's part of their game plan. Got to tell you first. China's looking at this saying, let's just say it's China. They're saying, really? That's interesting. What we should be doing, if I were China, is I'd be loading up on this like you can't even. We already know that companies like BlackRock and major financial institutions, big JP Morgan, oh yeah, believe me, they're loading up on this. Of course, because again, the banks are being merged into the system. So if you were China, the enemy here, okay, you're looking to disrupt the United States, you should be loading up on Bitcoin and maybe using your leverage there by owning it to manipulate the price up and or down to hurt the United States. A big strategic mistake by our illustrious Trump. But again, he had no choice. He had to tell you it's part of the book they use. You understand? We've seen this over and over and over again. And if you think I'm far out there, maybe you need to do a little research on this. Just like 6 months ago, they told you millions of these were going to be ready for bird flu. Guess what just happened in California? Declaration of a state of emergency because of bird flu. Oh, and they're getting ready for it. new mask mandates, they got to tell you, man. Okay. I think we're pretty much on the same page. All this is about a mode of control. With regard to, again, cryptocurrencies here, in my opinion, you're going to see volatility. But the fact is, I believe not only is the United States going to be adding to its strategic reserves, we already told about it. Again, in my book, for you people out here who are strategists, let's say a military strategist, maybe a prior military person like the guy you're looking at here, a strategic error. You never broadcast something like this. You just do it. This is an error, but they have to do it. Trump had no choice. That's his book he follows. It ain't our book. You understand? You're going to see a lot more of this. You're going to see more. They're going to try to convince you that by doing this, it's going to stabilize the economy. China, Russia, whoever else over there, the BRICS, they're going to be acquiring this as well. They're not going to tell you about it as a weapon. They're going to weaponize it against us because we've just left ourselves wide open here. But Trump is really smart, isn't he? He's really smart. I'm sorry. I got to make fun of people, but I give credit when credit's due. You know that. Anyway, guys, come on, man. It's just too, but you're going to see this, mark my words. They're going to try to convince you that we got to add Bitcoin in mass to the strategic reserves because it's going to stabilize the economy. It's going to stabilize the economy. It's going to stabilize the economy. You're going to hear that over and over again. Stabilize the economy. It's almost hypnotic. They do these things and they repeat it 3 times. Watch TV commercials or listen to a politician. 3. There's something with that number 3 they use all the time. 3. This one, Trump's favorite hand signal. The 3. You see this? Well, it's really 3 6s, but 3. You know what I'm talking about? It's always the same. Start to pay attention to this stuff. The messages are subtle. It's already starting. Subtle. It's going to get more dramatic moving forward. They're going to try to convince you this is the save-all, but all this is a way to get you to accept it as the new system is being built. And I'm telling you, people, this new system is being built faster than I even imagined it would. It was all set up prior to the selection here. That's why it's moving so rapidly. We're going to see a lot more of this moving forward here. Why the big financial institutions are loading up on this stuff here. It's just an incredible thing to see unfold. And I'll tell you something, man, you can push all you want back against it. This has been a plan that's been in effect for an extremely long period of time. And we just live in the side effect. And then they string us all along by trying to convince people that this is what we need to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to offer Bitcoin to the people. As a stimulus. We're going to send you a check for $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. Watch for it. Watch for this stuff. It's just too simple to see what they're going to do. Because they tell you first all the time in movies, in commercials, what we just saw during the run-up to the presidential selection, all of it. But what's going to happen here? Don't take my word for any of this stuff, people. Again, energy prices. Listen to Buffett. He's buying energy, getting back into the market, buying energy, because we know energy prices are going higher. You're going to pay for it all. Drill all you want. As I said, a lot of you think it's the greatest thing in the history of the world. It's going to amount to 0. I'm going to tell you right now. You've been sold a lot of lies. A lot of you have bought it all. You've swallowed it down, hook, line, and sinker. The bottom line is we're going to see vast expansion of debt. Deficits, trade deficits are going to balloon here. All the threats that are going around here that about tariffs, if you don't do this, you're going to get tariffs. You don't do that. The world is laughing. They're laughing here. We are no longer the superpower we used to be, or maybe we're a military superpower here. And they're going to turn that weapon inward or outward. You know that already here. The enforcement arm of the Federal Reserve is the United States military. And believe me, if we don't march in line to their plan to bridge us into the new system, to track everything you do, this tokenized system, this is already done, in case you don't know. It's just a matter of us getting there. And I think they're going to utilize a few things. I've been telling you right now, a severe economic downturn. is right already in it. They're going to tell you the contrary, just like today. The consumers are spending like crazy. They are spending and they're spending and they're spending. Meanwhile, they're tapping into their savings accounts. They're melting down their credit cards, for which they're defaulting to do because they have no choice but to spend more. Watch headlines like that because they are massively deceptive. It's an incredible thing to see. If you strip out, and again, they're telling you how great our economy is, strip out government spending. You really think they're going to cut government spending? If they do that, it would look like GDP is shrinking and the economy is cratering, but that can't be allowed to happen. And also, it's going to be a shell game anyway. You realize that, right? You've been duped. And I haven't been duped. And I know if you follow this blog, you haven't been duped either. But again, how much of what comes out of a politician's mouth actually happens? 0.1%, maybe. It's just a joke. And they think the joke is on us. But the joke is not on us. The joke is on them. You understand? Because we're too smart. We're too aware of what is going on. Understand? You got it? You think we're on the same page here? Anyway, is there anything? First of all, look. Let me just go back real quick. With regard to energy, and we know what Buffett's doing here. And again, I'm not letting the guy dictate my life, but we called this before many, many, many months ago where this is going to go. I want you guys and girls to just think about what it means for you. Okay. There's no saving grace here except for the Almighty. You all know that. Okay. I'm not going to go into that right now. Bitcoin isn't saving anything. And now that it has been revealed to our enemies, because they had no choice, Trump had to do it. He had no choice but to tell you what was going to happen. People, stop paying attention to stuff like this. And if you think I'm way out there, maybe you need to wake up a little bit. You understand? Stop sleeping or go back to sheep, whatever you want. I personally, look, man, you guys and girls can do whatever you want with regard to the information I put out for you. You want to utilize that? You don't want to utilize it? It's all cool. It's all good. Okay, we can still be friends. We are friends. But I think better than 90% of you who follow this blog know exactly what I'm talking about here. Anyway, no, exactly, Johnny Bravo. But the bridge has to be built. But Bitcoin is not central bank digital currency. He's 100% right. They have to mainstream crypto first. They have to make you trust it. They have to make you accept it first. Then, as the secondary part of the bridge is going to be right into the central bank digital currency, this tokenized system. They can't just fling it at you. It's a process like a boiling frog. You understand? I don't think people get it. But yes, the United States is clearly leading the way into the new system. We've already been told. But revealing that fact to our so-called enemies, if I were China, and if you were China, wouldn't you do what I just said? I'd be loading up on this stuff like there's no tomorrow. I wouldn't be telling nobody. You don't broadcast this stuff, okay? You do it stealthily, all right? Just so you can weaponize that against your adversary. We are clearly an adversary, okay? They have their system, which they want to partially back by a commodity. We have our system nowhere near it, unless you want to believe that cryptocurrencies are a commodity until they erase that too and give you the tokenized system backed by zero. Understand? We're really on the same page. Honestly, I think most of us here, we all get it. And again, I'm happy to be here. So before we part ways, and I got an announcement in just a few minutes here. Is there anything you guys and girls want to cover about what we spoke about here, what we're doing, regard to the market, sitting back, relaxing, maybe wait until after the inauguration? We're in no rush. I'm in no rush here. I don't care what happens. The market ain't going nowhere. There's always going to be opportunity everywhere. With regard to gold and silver, people, I can't stress this to you enough. I don't know another way to put it. We're going to see massive currency devaluation moving forward. We've been, again, what did the illustrious one tell you? I'm talking about Trump. He promised you lower rates. A president does not have that power. But they have to tell you, again, his playbook. Not our playbook. They have to tell you first. The Fed's already cutting rates. Are they done? No, I think they're looking for an excuse to go negative. Looking for an excuse to go negative. Period. An extreme economic downturn would mean negative rates, stimulus. Maybe they're going to send in some Bitcoin as a economic stimulus. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Once they make cryptocurrencies available everywhere, and you can buy this. Some banks will sell this to you right now, just in case you know. We talked about this recently. I forgot which ones it was. Wells Fargo, maybe. There was another one too. I don't remember, but you can get this stuff pretty easily these days. They got to mainstream it. They got to make you comfortable in transacting in it. Forget about your dollars. Okay, the dollars is becoming obsolete. Clearly, this system is becoming obsolete as the bridge is built into the new system. But going back to the promise of lower rates, presidents don't have that power. They don't have the ability to create cash out of nothing and buy the debt, which is how they lower rates. You understand? And you know, the other thing I spoke about the other day, the Fed, some of you actually, this is why I'm bringing it up. I don't have the chart. You remember I showed you the chart of the Fed's repo scam? I call it a repo scam because all it does is a trick. It's a way to trick the system. The Fed, in their repo operations overnight, they pass cash back and forth. And I said this is a way that it tricks the system into thinking it's more liquid, which is how it works. My wording was incorrect a little bit. I said the Fed is pulling liquidity, which what they're doing is they're not pulling liquidity. And a couple of you called me out on that. I understand that. What I meant to say is because the Fed is decreasing the amounts of cash that they're moving back and forth, it's, how do I say this? It's tricking the system, but to a lesser degree. And we're running out of cash. We're marching right into a liquidity crisis. We're in one now. And they're exacerbating it. It's all leading up to a climax, people. So for those of you that were confused with what I said, and I read through the comments, and there were a couple, well, hold on a minute. Greg said that the Fed is pulling liquidity, but they're really not. They're not. They're just, the way that they're tricking the system is differently because, again, they're decreasing their repos. Instead of like it being X amount of billions, it's a little less of X amount of billions, and it's been declining. And that's a problem. But I mean, it's nothing that we haven't expected. We're going to march. We're being thrust into a full-on locking up of the system. It isn't the market freaking crashes that matter. It's right now. It's the flow of credit. Right now, credit is still flowing. Anyway, I hope I kind of got that ironed out for you. All right, guys. Before we get out of here, anything else specific that you want to talk about? What's going on here? Are we pretty much on the same page? Anything Bitcoin, the Federal Reserve won't? No, it won't. I believe you are 100. I do not believe that. Okay, I am in the camp here saying that Bitcoin is not going to save the economy. The economy is being systematically destroyed. There's no impetus, whatever the word might be, to save it. We're being destroyed. They're creating a new two-tier society, extreme haves, extreme have-nots, okay? The middle class here is being eradicated, and I've been telling you this for 10 freaking years. They don't want to save the economy. It's more destruction here as the middle class is wiped out, as wealth is pushed up to the 1 or 2%ers. That's it. So it's not even designed, but that's what you're going to be told. Again, this article right here, in fact, right here at the top, is this going to by adding Bitcoin to the strategic reserves, is this going to put the economy on sounder footing? No. There's no connection here between Bitcoin and the economy, but they want to sell that to you. They're going to sell it to you. Probably going to hear it come out of the mouth of the illustrious one himself. Believe me on this. It's too easy to know what they're going to say. It's a script, people. Is this a move to inflate? They're always inflating. I'm just reading here. D Trent. No, I'm sorry, Greg. Is this a move to inflate? Yes, it's a move to inflate. The central banks are always going to inflate. They're going to inflate. Means devalue the currency. People, for how many years have you and I spoke about that? These things. Central banks will have us by the throat and by the gonads. I think I can say that on YouTube here. They have been destroying the purchasing power of the currency methodically and slowly and deliberately. Do you really think This is just an accident, a comedy of errors. Why? The dollar has lost 99% of its purchasing power here. Do you really think this is just by accident here? And why just now we're being transitioned into the new system? Come on. You guys got it. Damon. Awesome. Thank you for saying it for me. Understand? I think we're Joe Potter, you're absolutely right. It is a scam. It's an incredible thing to see how we, the people of the world, are being systematically destroyed via the scam of currency devaluation lower and lower and lower. And the promises out of politicians here. Trump isn't the only one. Okay. They're all on the same page, promising you lower rates here. But what they don't tell you is lowering rates means currency purchasing power destruction. It's a lie by omission. I mean, it's a lie any way you want to look at it, and it just again allows central bank when a central bank is devaluing the purchasing power of the currency. What can they do? What do they want to do? Issue more debt. Issue more debt in the form of their currency. You understand? When the currency is devalued, to make up the difference, a central bank has to create more currency. It's a vicious revolving wheel that doesn't stop. And the more debt a central bank can issue or is called upon to issue, the stronger they become. And that was, during Trump's last campaign when he was vastly inflating the debt, which we were told that tariffs were going to pay for in 2 years. Why wasn't he held to account for that? I don't know. And it was also going to pay for the trade deficit. Didn't happen. It's not going to happen now either. So if you fell for that, again, you're an idiot. Okay? It's not going to happen. Tariffs aren't paying for a thing. You understand? And with regard to cutting any kind of government spending, with regard to debts and deficits ballooning, it's a shell game. They're going to take cash from here. I don't believe they're going to cut spending, I'll be honest with you. But if they do, that cash is going to be used to pay off inflating debts and deficits. It's a shell game. That's all it is, man. You get it? We're on the same page. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at here. I have a question from Dementia Joe here. Can we see Coco? You must have known he was here. What do you? There he is. Hey, Coco. You want to give Daddy a kiss? He doesn't want to kiss me. What? Listen, guys and girls, he's got his little Christmas thing on here. I know what you guys really want to see. Some of you guys asked to see his hammer, so what can I tell you? I aim to help you guys out. Should we buy Bitcoin? I think this is it's something I've been talking about for a very, very long time. I've been telling people they should, right here on this blog at 17.5. I said I was buying it. I said it was a good entry point. I think personally, again, understanding that we are going to be adding to the strategic reserves, and more than likely our adversaries, now that the secret has been revealed, a massive strategic error by the illustrious one, they will use Bitcoin as a weapon, but I still believe it's going much higher. Yeah, Coco's not very romantic today. Come on, buddy. Kisses. No kisses for Daddy? Anyway. Infinity is God's power, not powers. Exactly. But right now, power controls the earth. How's that? Until the time, God helps those who help themselves, we're not helping ourselves. We're really not, unfortunately. We're allowing this to happen. We're told it's going to happen. It does happen, and then we complain about it. But at least we're trying to do something about it. You understand? And that's it. No, it's not the beard. He kisses me all the time. He just want to kiss me right now. I think he's tired. He just went out on a really long walk. So I think he's just kind of tired. Coco, say hi to everybody. Anyway, guys and girls, sell the dog? I wouldn't sell this guy if my life depended on it. Okay? I'm not selling him. He's my boy. It's my baby. Anyway. Guys and girls, so here's my announcement for you. All right. This is it. You're not going to see me again until next Friday. I am taking off for the next week. I need a little downtime here, honestly, and I think we should all kind of take a little bit of a break here. Um, Sound about right to you? I very rarely take any time off, but I'll be honest with you. This stuff here, you know what it does to me? My blood pressure, it's unhealthy, and I need a little disconnect here. Not from you guys. I love all of you so much. I really, really do. But I do need to kind of step back out of here for a little bit. So I will see you on Friday the 27th, which is a week from today. So for me and Coco, to you, all right, I want all of you to have the merriest of Christmases. And we'll talk before the new year, but also a happy new year. And just look, man, if we don't live, wake up and live. Hey, Bob Marley song, wake up and live. Um, look, man, then I guess we don't deserve anything here. We got to understand that. Look, things are all the way they are, and I get that. We're taking action against it. We're doing what we need. This has become a survival mechanism. I don't like it anymore. I used to love this market, being in this market, honestly. Playing the game, watching the way cash moves through the system. Learned a lot over the years, whatever. But you know, right now it's just become more of like a survival mechanism here, and kind of that's it. Is Coco a mini pincher? No, Coco is a shelter dog. And could you believe somebody turned him in? They didn't want him. I got when we got him, it was about 3. He's 6 now. I put his little birthday picture up recently on my Instagram, link in the description of this video. And he's the best dog. I mean, I can't even imagine why someone would turn him in. But he's a mix of things. Chihuahua. We actually did run a doggy DNA on him. He's a whole bunch of things. He's actually part poodle, like poodle face. Anyway, so anyway, guys and girls, look, man, enjoy your holiday, enjoy each other. Okay, now we're still going to do what we do every Friday, and we're going to do it again next Friday when I see you again. Remember, you're not going to see me Sunday when Marcus look ahead. You're not going to see me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You see me Friday. All right. Look, man, I love you guys and girls. This is the most. I never in my life would have believed that I would have created. We would have created this family that we have here. This world. We look out for each other always. We got each other's backs always. It's just too important. All right. We have friends all over the world here that interact with us. It's absolutely fantastic. So you ready? Bring it in. From us to you. You ready? Love each other. Care about each other. And be charitable. All right, guys and girls. I will see you, as I said, next Friday, the 27th. Merry Christmas to everybody. All right. I love you from the heart with all I got. And he does too. That's it.